Hello, and welcome to my title, Survive Together, Die Alone. My name is Ben, and I've been developing this project for the past year or so. My title is an immersive, linearized first-person horror survival shooter, set in present time following a character named Anderson, whose primary objective is to become self-sufficient in this post-apocalyptic creation. I'm creating a world that will take players into a realistic portrayal of a speculative world, with certain aspects of realism are replaced to further cater for the player. This is to develop a sense of harmony between the player and the world itself. I've already implemented a majority of the mechanics, such as a weapon system which includes damage models and an easy pipeline to implement new weapons, as well as a fully simulated bullet physics including ricochets depending on angular velocity and firing angle, thirst and hunger, which are there as inventory fillers and will not be the main focus nor hinder the player's ability to function, only when really low on these values. Movement mechanics and subtle little tweaks here and there, like projectiles that fly by will cause the player to flinch and the screen will have like a little post-processing effect. During the past year of development, I've also managed to create a few levels, as well as a main menu screen, which fully functions as intended, although there's still a few things here and there that need to be fine-tuned and adjusted, as well as everything right now is still in its primitive phase. My company Red Haze Interactive is a self-funded company started up around 6 months ago. It's just me at the moment. I've hired out here and there, but for the most part I do most of the groundwork and the fundamental design process. I've never worked nor am I schooled in any form of game design, although for the past 8 years I've been heavy into modding on and off. Although in the past year I have learned a lot about certain aspects of game design. I've been reading a book called Fundamentals of Game Design, which has really helped me reiterate and reevaluate certain aspects of my project. I've used this book to follow rules and ideological values that present certain aspects to both the designer and the player. The main incentive behind my title is to develop a sense of harmony with the player and the world, as stated earlier, through the use of immersion and artificially creating moments where the story intentionally has gaps. Then later on they're filled in and the player will come to realization, and naturally filling these gaps providing a reward to the player, joining them in delivering gratification. This will be achieved through mainly visual cues, as humans are very visual thinkers. In this example here, the camera pans across the hallway in this hospital scene. As the player progresses 5 to 10 minutes into the game, they see this exact same room. A sense of fear is developed as they have seen this area before, only not the final outcome. This is also how I will tackle audience retention. I've done a lot of research on the inevitability of players' boredom when it comes to games. Once all the mechanics are mastered, there is no progressive feeling towards the player. This is especially present in single-player games, as the randomness of players in multiplayer games keeps it fresh. This means I'm not afraid to present the player with challenges to keep things new. The concept this is based on is player-centric design, by developing the game around the player's satisfaction. Like most people, my goals are very ambitious. I would someday like to present my content to players around the world at E3, although that's just a background thought. This year my main goal is to focus more on game design philosophy, which I've surmounted myself to by purchasing a game design book. My goals for this project have started by developing a more structured video talking about my game to you guys, Epic. This year I also intend on releasing a special build to a select amount of people to get feedback by the end of this year. Following up with the finalization on mechanics and AI by the end of this year, I'll still be doing multiple passes on these as they will still be very primitive. If these funds are granted, I'll prioritize an immersion capture setup. The past month I've been looking at 2 products in specific, the Roku Smart Suit Pro, or at a cheaper price the Perception Neuron, following up by sounds as these are very hard for me to create. Game development for me right now is just a hobby with a massive incentive to build upon my skill set and break into the industry. Whether it leads into future successes or fails, I'll stay motivated to keep pushing till the right door opens for me. Anyway guys, I thank you for watching and I really do hope this is considered. If it's not, whatever, I'll try again or maybe not depending on how it goes. And I really do hope it is considered, and if it is, thank you. Thanks for watching, I guess. See ya.